So ever catch yourself wondering, like, what does a chemist actually do all day?
Yeah.
Not just the, like, textbook stuff, but the real deal.
Right, right.
Well, buckle up, because in this deep dive, we're going to unpack that. We're diving into the world of chemistry careers, and we've got some awesome insights from RoleCatcher to guide us.
They've got some really good stuff, yeah.
They do. They have the super in-depth career guide on chemists, plus some really handy tips on, like, nailing interviews and navigating the whole job market thing.
Which can be a beast, yeah.
Totally. And first thing that jumped out at me, it's
Yeah.
way more than just, beakers and bubbling potions.
It's funny you say that because
Okay.
taking those textbook principles and actually using them to, solve real-world problems.
Exactly, yeah.
Developing new products, figuring out how to live more sustainably. It's pretty impressive when you think about it.
It really is. And speaking of making a difference, this guide really highlights how crucial chemistry is to environmental sustainability, which I know that's something you're super passionate about, so.
Absolutely, yeah. One of the key things to remember is that.
It's not just some abstract concept. We're talking careers that directly impact a healthier planet.
Yeah, and that's where the specializations come in. Like if you're into renewable energy or clean water solutions, even just understanding how materials impact the environment.
Right.
There's a chemistry specialization for that.
So we've established chemists are basically like the superheroes of the science world.
They kind of are.
But what does their day look like?
Right, right.
Because the guide gets real, and spoiler alert, it's not all like glamorous experiments and eureka moments.
Yeah, it's good to have that realistic view for sure.
So labs, obviously a big part of it.
Of course, yeah.
But even those differ depending on where you work, right?
Oh, absolutely. Like
Yeah.
a private company lab,
Yeah.
totally different vibe than a university research lab.
Huge. So it's like choose your own adventure, but instead of dragons, it's test tubes.
Yeah.
And maybe the occasional hazardous material, because yes, the guide keeps it real with that stuff too.
Safety first, as they say.
Always. But here's something I didn't expect. The guide really emphasizes that chemistry, it's not a solo thing.
Interesting.
You're not just like huddled over your experiments alone all day. Collaboration is key.
Makes sense, yeah.
Working with other scientists, manufacturing teams, it's a whole team effort.
So those communication skills everyone's always talking about, those aren't just a bonus. Those are essential.
Totally.
Yeah.
And speaking of essential, tech.
There we go.
Because apparently, even the world of chemistry isn't immune to the robot uprising.
It's true.
Automation, AI, machine learning, it's all changing how chemists work.
Yeah, so if you're someone who loves being on the cutting edge of tech,
Mm-hmm.
chemistry could be a good fit.
Okay, so we've got like high-tech tools, teamwork, even a little danger.
Just a tad.
Makes it that much cooler, that
Yeah.
right? But before we go full-on mad scientist, I gotta know, what skills do you actually need to like rock a chemistry career?
Well, knowing chemistry is a good start.
Makes sense, yeah.
But the guide really stresses this strong writing skills.
Yeah.
Huge for 71% of chemists.
71%? Seriously, I did not see that coming. Like, okay, reports, I get it, but what makes writing so important?
Think about it. Discoveries, experiments, data.
Yeah.
It means nothing if you can't tell anyone about it, right?
True.
Research papers, conferences, even just explaining stuff to your colleagues, got to be clear, got to be concise.
So not just brains, but being able to like share those brains with the world.
Exactly.
And it's more than just writing too, right? Like all that teamwork stuff we were talking about.
Oh, for sure. Remember, rarely a solo mission, chemistry. Got to listen to your teammates, explain your ideas clearly, work together to solve problems.
So it's like science smarts plus people skills.
It's both worlds.
Speaking of which, time to unpack those related fields RoleCatcher mentioned, because like even if you love chemistry, it's good to see what other doors are open, right?
Absolutely.
First up, biochemistry. From what I'm reading, this is where chemistry and biology are like, let's have a baby. And that baby is fascinating.
It really is. It's all about the chemical processes in living things.
Whoa.
So new medicines, understanding diseases at a molecular level, even engineering crops to be pest resistant.
Okay, that's next level stuff.
Huge for healthcare, agriculture, the environment.
So cool. And next on our career adventure list, materials science. This one sounds straight up futuristic to me. What even is it? Are we talking spaceships and like new elements?
Well, maybe not spaceships yet, but it's definitely cutting edge. It's about understanding how different materials work, their strength, flexibility, conductivity, and then using that to design and create entirely new materials with specific purposes.
Okay, I think I'm starting to get it. So Not just using what we've got, but like inventing better stuff.
Exactly. Imagine lighter, stronger airplanes using less fuel, or super efficient solar panels that capture way more energy.
Wow.
It's about finding solutions to some of our biggest global challenges.
That's incredible. And the possibilities are kind of endless, right? Like, this guide is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole web of careers using chemistry out there.
100%. It's about finding your niche in that web where your passions and skills connect. And even if you start down one path, you're not stuck. RoleCatcher really stresses that careers are fluid now, people change all the time, and that's okay.
It's actually kind of freeing, you know? Like, even if I'm not in a lab coat analyzing data forever, those skills are still valuable. Speaking of which, let's get real for a sec. What's it actually like applying for a chemistry job? Is it all scary interviews and crazy competition?
Well, the job market can be tough,
Hmm.
but RoleCatcher's interview guide is super helpful.
So, skills, different branches of chemistry, even those interviews, we've covered a lot.
We have.
But what really hits home is like the why of it all. If you, dear listener, were to go down this path, what's the big picture?
And RoleCatcher really nails that, actually.
Okay, good.
They mentioned the salary potential, which, hey, got to pay those bills,
Of
right?
course, yeah.
But the real standout is the impact you can have on the actual world.
Okay, now that is exciting. We keep saying sustainability, but give us the visuals. Like, how are chemists really shaping a better future?
All right, so renewable energy, those solar panels popping up everywhere. Chemists develop the materials that make it more efficient, so they're grabbing more energy from the sun.
Mhm.
Or electric cars, those powerful batteries.
Yeah.
Chemists, again, finding ways to store more energy, charge faster, last longer.
So it's like being an inventor, but instead of goofy gadgets, it's solutions to like global problems.
Exactly. And the medical field is just as wild.
Oh, I bet.
Imagine creating life-saving drugs, treatments for diseases we've been fighting for ages.
Hmm.
Chemists are on the front lines of that, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. It's about helping people live longer, healthier lives. Pretty amazing to be a part of.
Okay, chills. It's easy to forget when you're deep in the career research, but those are huge E outcomes. To know your work could have that ripple effect, that's got to feel good.
And don't underestimate the thrill of discovery itself. Chemistry is all about exploring, pushing limits, asking what if.
Right?
It rewards curiosity. Breakthroughs are happening all the time.
It's like you're a detective of the natural world, uncovering its secrets experiment by experiment. And who knows, maybe you listening right now, you could make the next big discovery.
Exactly. This guide is a starting point, but it's just the start. Explore, ask questions, find your path in this incredible field.
So well said. And for those feeling that spark, definitely check out RoleCatcher. They've got a ton of resources, not of chemistry, but a whole universe of careers to discover. Who knows, maybe we'll be deep diving into your dream job next. But until then, keep those brains buzzing, keep asking those what if questions. The world needs more curious minds like yours.